I have to also mention that these are the players who will be representing their state. I am excited to be here. This is your cast Peachy, and along with me, I have Jenny and Crunchy. Hello, Jenny, and hello, Crunchy. How are you guys?
I'm great. I'm great and all excited for watching ET versus Doritos over here. Doritos, I'm not sure, but ET, we all know it's one of the best teams in India as of right now because they defeated the ABM. I mean, ABM, they've been recognized as the best team in India right now, and ET has managed to ruin them in a tournament recently, right? So, yeah, let's watch. Let's watch ET slay and maybe chew the Doritos. Let's say, Crunchy.
Well, this is definitely going to be a very interesting match because, as you said, like eliminators have really shown that they have stepped up recently because they have been beating teams left, right, center, and not just any team. It's like all of these top teams have been defeated by them at one point or the other.
Mhm.
So I do feel that it's going to be a very match from the eliminator side, but I'm not that sure of Doritos, as you guys said. So I mean, it could be that Doritos may pull off something really magnificent, like really good gameplay from their side as well. So Peachy, what do you think about that?
Definitely, I really want to see what Doritos have in store for us today because I think this is going to be exciting. We have Eliminators on the cards, we have Doritos as well. But before we move on to the draft, I have to remind you guys that this is the online qualifiers. That means the finals will be held at a LAN event and possibly in Assam. With that, only 10 teams will be there up at the LAN event. And so far, eight teams will be the eight teams representing their own state from northeast, and two other teams that would be from the other states. That means it will be the rest of India. They will be fighting it out for a position into the finals. And this is today we have a match between Team Doritos and Team Eliminators. Your casters will be Team Jenny and Crunchy. Please take it away, guys.
All right, moving on towards the draft, we can already see that they have banned a Khalid, Ling, and Grok from the side of Doritos. Well, I mean, Khalid these days as an EXP laner, he's got all the potential to initiate all the great ganks and setups. And starting from the early game itself, as soon as, especially after he gets a Thunderbolt, he's gonna go be a menace in the whole map, annoying everybody. When you have a Khalid, you're gonna you're gonna win that exp lane because he's gonna rotate way faster than this his opponent in the exp lane. What's it, Crunchy?
Well, that's definitely true for most heroes, but there are answers to Khalid like Gatot Kach, Like, you don't even need to technically rotate if you're playing Gatot Kach, since he can just jump all the way from the XP lane onto another part of the map, most likely the mid lane, of course, because, I mean, that's where that's up till where he can jump to. But, I mean, if they have a turtle fight going on, he can reach there. He can make these rotations without even being there. So it's quite a threat to even have the Gatot Kach. But meanwhile, we see a Hylos ban coming out from the side of the eliminators because I think they want to make sure that the glorious pathway isn't there to disrupt their team lineup. What say,
Mm-hmm.
PG?
I'm Jenny, by the way. All
Oh,
right,
oh,
no
sorry, sorry.
problem. No problem, no problem. I relax, man. Yep. I totally agree. I mean, yep, our lot is a really great option as well, and they look like they are interested in picking our lot. But the fact is, they had the first pick. All right, they could have banned something like a Ruby or Phobias and logged at Khalid instead, but they want to trade a Zuxin award and Zuxin first pick. I don't know how wise is that, given the fact that they still have Phobias open. I mean, these days, these EXP laners are doing a really, they have a very important role at initiating. You want to have an EXP laner who's gonna be really good at initiating. So, um, and ET locked into the Ruby right away. I think that's a loss. That's a loss. Despite having the first pick, uh, benefit over here, they didn't make use of it.
Well, that couldn't truly be said because the Zujin as well is quite a strong pick right now. But of course, I feel the Ruby would have been a better choice considering how strong she is right now, and since she also has that flex potential to go onto both the gold lane and the XP lane right now. It's quite marvelous to actually look at the meta considering that Ruby is also a valid gold lane pick. But it also seems the Hylos
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yep, I can barely hear you, Crunchy. I guess your voice is lagging. You might as well want to fix it. Again, Hayabusa, Sarar, when we have seen Sarar playing Hayabusa in various different tourneys these days, and he is really good at that. But well, I have to say, Doritos, you gotta bring something up. Okay, they got Edith. With that Inspire, Edith's probably going gold lane in that case. Lynch on that Alpha as the Hyper, where Crunchy Hypers, when you talk about Hypers here, we have Alpha on the blue side and red side we have Sarar on the Hayabusa. What do you think? Is that a good answer to Hayabusa? All right. All right, I guess Crunchy's gonna need some time to fix his mic, and we're gonna carry on with the draft. Bid on that Aurora. Okay, not right now because obviously, I mean, Doritos they got their mage already, so I think it is gonna take some time and decide later what to pick. But when they already have the chance, they want to pick that Phobias. They want to secure that Phobias because there are still two bans left, and you never know. Doritos might actually target Phobias because they don't want to face an Phobias in the EXP lane. It's gonna be dangerous, and like I mentioned already, they want to secure it, they got it, and then they goes up to Bandit Matilda. Well, Matilda as well as Zuxian in the mid lane. You know, they're like two peas in a pod. They're gonna roam around in the map like two peas in a pod. Like they're always gonna stick together, right? Zuxian is gonna continuously use up her second skill to try and knock you up and throw you here and there, where Matilda is gonna provide her that mobility in case he gets stuck somewhere. So I think it's wise for them to pen out in Matilda, thinking that they might end up picking, given the fact that they already have the suction. Again, they have penned out that Jas. You know, he's got really good potential in slowing the enemies down as well as a lot of damage. So I guess that's a good decision. Okay, is Crunchy back? All right, he's not
Oh,
yet. I guess. All right, we got Peachy in the chat. Right.
yes, I will be taking over since Crunchy is actually facing some network issues. And looking at the draft, Jenny, look at that. They picked up a Ruby and a Phobius together. That means that the sustain is there from the side of Team Eliminators right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, they actually banned Harriet as well. They're trying to cut out that goal lane options, I suppose. But
Mhm.
okay, given the fact that at first it was with an Inspire, I thought maybe it was gonna go for the goal lane, but I guess not. Might be an EXP or Roam. It was really versatile. Again, that Carmilla Roam with one ult, and then with the Ruby, I think that's gonna be a hell of a combination. And on top of that, they also have a Phobias. ET's draft so far, so good.
Do agree with you, Jenny. It is really looking very good. Art has picked up his Carmela. There has been few changes as well. Looking. Oh, I think Edith has replaced her Flicker yet again, and I really think that Edith should go into the EXP lane, Jenny.
Yeah, I'm guessing so. But then again, they don't really have picked a goal laner so far, and we can see Esmeralda not yet locked, but you never know. Again, got Gacha as well. It's gonna be good. But then, all right, they do have a dive. They do have a Hayabusa over here. Who's gonna look up to that Hayabusa all the way to the back line? But then again, Zuxian is she's not really a backline mate. She's not gonna stay too far away from the team. So I guess they're gonna go all in, 5 versus 5. Maybe that Gato Kacha wanna be on your face all the time, as well as Esmeralda, as well as Alpha. Edith, yep, most of the time until and unless she used her primal red. So let's see. But yes, Edith is doing a really good job at the draft, given the fact they also have the Eve on their side now. Okay, it can be Aurora as well. I mean, good choice. You know, you come at my face, I'm gonna freeze you up.
Definitely, Jenny. I was really hoping that they could go with the Eve because I know Crunchy really likes to play those kind of mages, and with that, he is back. He will be taking over.
All
Really
right.
sorry, guys. Had a few issues over there. But yeah, I see that the draft is already over. I missed most of it. But I think, despite the fact that I have some bias for Eve, I think the Aurora is a much better pick in this situation, especially considering that they have the Carmilla to have that sync up with, and Aurora's ultimate along with Carmilla's links are gonna do some crazy amount of crowd control to the side of Dorito. So honestly, in this draft, I feel that the Eliminators have kind of got a semi better draft, but you never know because there's a lot of pick-off potential as well coming out from the side of Doritos. Jenny.
Yep, and we're heading on to the land of Zone for the first match of today, Doritos versus ET, guys. I mean, Doritos gonna have to be really careful given the reputation of ET in this season in the recent tournaments, the team that went against ABM and actually won, right? So the pressure is definitely on Doritos. As of right now, they're just trying to get their junglers up to level 4 as soon as possible.
But I feel that there may be some invade potential coming in from the side of Eliminators as well, but not exactly right now, but a while later because they do have the Phobius instead of the Esmeralda. So I think the Gadotka kind of sticking with his jungler is quite a good choice. Banana Sauce is making a really good choice with his rotation here. It's not a wise idea to stick with the gold laner or the XP laner, especially considering that it's an Edith versus Ruby. Pretty neutral lane can be managed. Hayabusa going in, jumping onto the Zujan. She's trying desperately with her lantern, but that will be the first blood taken right away by the side of the Eliminators, Jenny.
Yeah. I mean, the Eliminators, they're going to be fast. I mean, look at the Hypers over here. Look at the junglers over here. Saranmun is already level 4 and past, while Lynch is still in level 3. He's not level 4 yet, and they're engaging. They're coming for kills, and look at that. Edith's got another kill already. So that's the difference. That's the difference. You see?
For sure, for sure. The funny thing is that all throughout these fights, Hayabusa has not yet used his Ogi Shadow Kill, so he still has the ultimate up ready. And meanwhile, we can see that Eliminators are already onto the XP lane gank, and that might just be another pick-off, but not really yet. Esmeralda is quite tanky anyway. But Jenny, it seems that a fight might break out here. What do you think?
Yep, Doritos, they're trying to set it up for Lynch over here, but he's not going up yet. Look at that. Seramus already using up a shadow kill to go on and take down Lynch, but manages to take down Banana instead. Lynch very low on HP, barely surviving there. I mean, maybe he's gonna manage this one, but Bid as well as Art, they're not giving up. They still want to secure the kill. Look at Art, look at that. Okay, he is like, okay, let him go for this time. Okay, meanwhile, that setup that Doritos tried to do actually didn't favor them at all and made a way for ET to take a free turtle. Again, they're not giving up. They're still trying to get more targets onto Banana Sauce. But also, they want to secure the red buff over there in the bottom lane. Legend going straight in for Lynch, zoning him away from the red buff so that Sarar can easily grab it. Again, Banana Sauce still trying, but Legend be like, no, I'm not gonna let anyone come near. And if you do, you're gonna end up dying. And that's exactly what just happened. Paprika out of the scene, eliminated, and the red buff has been taken down by Serar. Meanwhile, Conqual has also been taken down. Double kill over there by Bid and shut down. Okay, finally a shutdown by Serar Moon. He's trying to overachieve over there, but that's look at that continuous jumps in coming in by Legend, taking them down one by one. Okay, Paprika. Is that Paprika chasing down Art? But Art be like, no, I'm Carmilla. You don't want to do that. Banana still not giving up. They actually need to like go back a little bit. Okay, that was Conquil taking down Art. That was not a really good place to recall, I suppose. And Conquil just figured that he's recalling over there. So let me take him down. It's just 1 HP.
And that was honestly a really long fight coming out from both sides. I think that ET is just winning this because they have more brawl capabilities from their lineup in the early game. They kind of have to wait for the Edith to scale. I mean, if we're talking about the side of Dorito, but for Eliminators, they already have a really brawl-worthy lineup. You can see that this Phobius is just not letting out. He's not letting anybody get any damage on them, even though he got jumped by 2 people. he still managed to survive it and waited for a counter gang from the Hayabusa. Meanwhile, the Carmilla manages to land her ultimate onto the Alpha Lynch, taking down Art really low, but he will be able to go for a re-engage along with their jungler. This is such a good display of counter ganking and counter gang discipline coming out from the side of Eliminators, Jenny.
Yeah, I mean, this is Eliminators you're going against. You're gonna have to be a little bit more systematic and careful and be up with the communication. Okay, there you go. They're melting down banana sauce over there. No, they don't care. They got all the potential as of right now. In the bottom lane, though, Serarmoon onto Paprika. Paprika, okay, that's Esmeralda. Given the fact that you have Esmeralda, luckily he wasn't able to take you down as of right now. But in the mid lane, look at that. They're trying to pressurize that mid lane first tier turret, right? And as soon as they get it, the map's gonna open up. Oh, he's Seramun is still on to Paprika. I still want to get that kill over there in the bottom lane, but I guess you just be happy with the turret as of now. They got the objective.
Well, sure, but I think they should try and put pressure onto this topside turret as well. I mean, when we're talking about eliminators, because they are not exactly fully won that lane yet, and there's been very little action over there. So probably that should be their next course of action. If we're seeing eliminators, they kind of seem to be leaning towards a topside rotation as well right now, Jenny.
Yeah. You know, it is going all over. Look at Crisis. He's so far away from his team and he doesn't care. Okay, Crisis. Oh, they have already taken down Banana Sauce. They're home. Again, oh, Sarar Moon has taken down. Okay, toasted bread. Oh my god. I mean, this is going to be really hard for Doritos to try and find a way that one window where we could be like, okay, now we can improve, now we can get back into the game. It's going to be really hard for them because ET is slain already.
Yes, they're definitely in the mid game now because they managed to take down the mid tier 1, which is quite crucial for the side of the eliminators because now they will be able to start sieging. There's another kill by eliminators. They managed to get Paprika as well. Two people down for the side of Doritos, and it wasn't even a team fight. It was just a pick of really well layered CC coming out from the side of of eliminators, Jenny.
Yeah. They're going straight in for that inhibitor and killing spree. Okay. Killing spree by Legend over there. I mean, 309. This guy is undefeated, as well as Crisis, as well as Bid. So far, the kills are like 2 into 2 to 18, and there's 10,000 gold difference in 7 minutes. They have not managed to take hold over the map even a little bit. They have lost their towers as well. And in the top lane, we can see it's gold lane Legend versus Toasted Bread, and there's backup coming in from Bid. A little bit of freeze, and maybe they'll be able to take down Toasted Bread as well. They're melting everybody down already. And then there's the Serrar, but I think he just got shut down by I guess I missed that. He got shut down once, but then the whole time he's been snowballing.
Yup, and you can see the dominant just judging from Serar Moon's movements. He just does not care about how Doritos might pick him off here. Even Legend going in really deep. They know that they have a huge lead. It's already 10k gold difference that they have. So I don't think that Dorito stands much of a chance till they exploit these minor mistakes coming out from the side of the eliminators. But you can
Yeah, there you
see
go.
when you look
Killing
at the
spree.
items right now that Edith has finally gotten that Thunderbolt, so some amount of damage could come out from her. But meanwhile, there's a lot of items. There's 3 items coming from each member of ET. Meanwhile, you can see on the top side, Edith gets taken down just when she manages to get some items in. They're already making sure that she stays in her lane. She stays underfarmed and not ready for these major team fights that are about to break out soon, Jenny.
Yeah, actually, ET won the draft already, given the fact that they did. I mean, Doritos had the first pick. You know, they were in the blue side, and they prioritized Zuxian instead of Ruby, instead of Phobias. So obviously, ET, you give them their picks. You give that Ruby to Crisis. Man, that's a very bad idea. I mean, look at that Crisis. He's still not down. He still has his HP. He's still going away. Okay, finally, they manages to take Crisis down. But at the cost of what? Unstoppable Sarar Moon taking down Banana Sauce. And they're going to be able to push that inhibitor turret down.
Yeah, it was definitely a misposition, but it was one that that the Eliminators managed to take really good advantage of. It was like this is a good example of a mistake that's converted into an opportunity. Eliminators really find these kinds of plays all across the map, and that's what really differentiates them from the other teams. Even if they are making these small errors, they're able to find the silver lining, and that's exactly what might happen here on the top side. They're really going at this inhibitor. They want it down, but they don't have as much siege potential as the side of Doritos has, Jenny.
Yep, that was a good ultimate coming in from Lynch though, and they managed to take down Sarah Moon as of right now. The Lord is still up there, and it doesn't look like they're going. They don't even want to take the Lord. They're trying to pressurize. They're trying to force push and end the game right now and right here. But well, Doritos, they're trying their best to defend as of right now. But look at that. The top lane inhibitor will be taken down as well. Crunchy, do you think that they will be going back and disengage and maybe try and take the Lord? Like, meanwhile, monster kill by Bit on Esmeralda. That was a really unnecessary jump over there.
Well, I think Esmeralda answered the question for you, because at this point, the only good option is to let Sarar Moon take the Lord, or they could also end the game. Looking at this crazy engage coming in here, Ruby managed to use the Don't Run Wolf King, and Crisis is just jumping all over. He has a lot of damage right now, and the minions are already in the base. It could be an end right here. Legend with the Phobius jumping all around. Sarah Moon has literally ditched the Lord at this point. He's just going to jump in on Lynch and takes him down. Ogi Shadowkill used it up on Zujin as well. She goes down, and this could be a really easy game. And for the side of Eliminators, this has been quite the snowball. But there is some resistance. The base will not be able to resist that damage from those minions, though, and it goes right down. What a game coming in from the side of the Eliminators.
Yep, definitely. I mean, that was not gonna lie. That was completely one sided. They won the draft and then they won the early game, Saran was level 4, while Lynch was level 3. And then they got the first blood, and then they went up, and well, Doritos actually, given the fact that that ET is a really good team, they should have let ET try and engage first, expand their skills, and maybe they could have retaliated. But no, they tried to set up in the bottom lane when they already know that Serar was leading, and they ended up losing that gank, which gave Sarar a free turtle. And right after the turtle, they came up to the red buff. They stole their jungle, and then on and on and on and on. They were dying one after the other. They could have, tried to, okay, let them do what they're doing. Let them, take the advantage of their gold as of now, and maybe we can disengage a little bit, go back, try and get our gold, and come back, and then try to take a fight, then try to make some setup. But that didn't happen. They played into the hands of ED. They got played into the hands of ED. ED shoot them like exactly like Doritos.
Yes, the Eliminators engages were pretty conclusive in the sense that they always managed to get something out of them. Meanwhile, Doritos were not really able to do anything with their gangs throughout the entire game. I feel they could have played more towards the counter engage side, but since they failed to do that and they kind of went for the wrong priorities in this game, that's probably why they didn't fail to leverage their comp. And it's fine, mistakes happen, and there are always second chances, and unfortunately this was just not a good day for Team Doritos.
Yeah, it happens. Well, it was Team Doritos who was under the pressure, and I'm sure they're gonna come back stronger next time, more prepared to face teams like ET, right?
Maybe so, I hope
Definitely.
so actually. But it has
Uh,
been quite a good game, and
mhm.
would there be any final thoughts you would have on this, Jenny?
I think they just need to work a little bit even more on their draft. I mean, you have the blue side, and you give up Ruby, you give up Phobias, you trade these kind of heroes who are doing so good. I mean, Crisis with his Ruby. I mean, a lot of people know he's so good with that hero, and you trade Sukshin. Not a very really good idea, right? So
Well,
oh
that was definitely it for today, guys. I think Jenny would like to sign off
yep.
along with me.
Oh no, she will be back. We will be taking a short break and we will be back with the match too as soon as possible.
Good team, and they have a match.
Hello and welcome back. That was a hell of a first match. We saw the ET slay Doritos and chew up some Doritos from the packets. Again, we're here with the second match, and that's gonna be five great gamers versus Daaku Sena. And before we move on towards the second match, I want you guys to install Mobile Legends 5 versus 5 and participate in the giveaway that we're gonna be hosting really soon. And the second match will be casted by Peachy and Crunchy. Hello, are you guys there? I can't hear
Yes,
you guys.
and we are back again with second round. We will be soon diving into the draft. Before that, as Jenny mentioned, yes, to download the game because we have a lot of events coming up. The Ducati event is on. Do make sure you guys are spending for it. With that, let's dive into the draft.
Okay, are you there, Crunchy? I mean, we can dive into the draft, but it hasn't started. Okay, it did. It did. It did. I'm gonna let you guys carry over with the draft. Have a good game, guys.
Thank you, Jenny. With that, look at that. This would be a match between five great gamers versus Daaku Sena. They will be representing the other state. That means that the 10 teams from the Northeast will be matching up against each other, and 10 of them will be up with one team each as their own state. With that, I am Peachy and Crunchy. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here, and this is gonna be another really good match between Daaku Sena and five great gamers. And honestly, I am a really a huge fan of Daaku Sena, considering that I know some of those like players, and I have fought them, and I think they're a really good team, and they have a really good chance versus five great gamers. And honestly, this is quite a weird ban coming out from Daaku Sena, though I would say Moscow right away in the start. Probably were better options, maybe the Ruby, maybe even the Ling. But yeah, there we go. We get the Ling ban straight away, Peachy.
Okay, the link being banned. Maybe more assassins are yet to be in. Maybe I want to see a Nolan pick or maybe a ban coming in because it is one of the good junglers. And if he's managed to snowball that early game to his team, I think that is just a game over for the other side. With that, I'm looking at the Hayabusa ban as well. Crunchy. Now, we all know that the Hayabusa has been nerfed, into the last patch. Yet again, he is still strong. And with that, Team Dakusera have proceeded ahead with banning yet again another hero. That would be none other than a fighter. This is the assassin meta we are talking about. So the fighters are prioritized, the mages are prioritized, and then there we go. The assassins are being picked. Look at that, the Nolan coming into the play. Team five grade gamers, no hesitation, they picked up a Khalid, and on the other hand, even a Nolan has been picked up. This is what I wanted to see today, Crunchy. Okay, looks like he will be back in some moments, so don't go anywhere with that. Jazz is yet to pick up his hero. I am hoping to maybe some kind of fighters being picked out. Maybe an Edith could come into the play into the EXP lane. That could be a good counter for that Khalid probably because Edith has that range where she can pop her primal form and go in with that. But Khalid, on the other hand, with the raging tantrum and the quicksand, he is kind of menace. So I'm not sure what they will be going to pick, but looks like Jazz will be picking up a phobias. The EXP fight. I have to say that Khalid has that upper hand. He can finish up the minions quicker and he can actually rotate. But Phobius, he has to I will place him on the second rank when clearing minions. So that is one of the things that we might be able to see. But Team 5 Great Gamers, they proceed ahead with a Aurora and a Matilda. This is a good combo coming in. But Team 5 Great Gamers, they need to pick up a tanky fighter or maybe a tanky slash fighter heroes for the jungling. I'm not sure what they are going to pick to counter that Nolan, so let's just see.
Only love and night are everlasting.
Okay, so looks like the ban phase is already up. Daaku Sena
My
picking up the
life.
Sicilian for securing that late game. As I mentioned few minutes earlier, that how Nolan, if he's able to secure, secure a snowball to himself, I think it would be kind of a menace to the other team. Yes, it would be a menace. So the early game is kind of set unless team 5 great gamers are very annoying and they would be stealing and invading the buff of Nolan, which I really doubt because they do have the Khalid for that early game to the mid game damage, but I don't think they would be making those kind of mistakes with that. And Harith being picked off along with Harith, the marksmen are getting banned. Marksmen are yet to be picked. The jungler from the side of Team 5 Red Gamers are yet to be picked. They could counter, they could kind of choke that down. But now there's a lot of option into the roam section for Team Daaku Sena. And I'm not sure what they will be going because a lot, I have to say, with the Nolan, you can pick up a CC tank, possibly a soft CC that could still work. A hard CC would be a cherry on
Come
top
and
pick
join
coming in,
in the
a Tigreal, maybe an
treehouse.
Atlas, but I'm not sure. It could be anyone coming into the play since look at that, the Brody being banned, the Lunox being picked off as well. Lunox pick, I do believe that it is a good Pan coming in. She's versatile. She could be played into the goal lane as well. She's one of the counters for the Harith, which is good. And there we go. She is being placed into that ban. On the other hand, Daaku Sena, look at that. They have plans to pick up that Grok. Grok would be pretty good, I have to say. Okay. They might go in or they might not. A Jawhead coming into the play. It looks like they are eyeing that single pickup and Hayatsu picking up that Jawhead. He wants that single kind of pickup for coming in. So maybe he's kind of going with that. But I'm really not sure about the synergy with Sicilian because Sicilian he needs a little kind of a revision and the protection from his tank. That is what team Daaku Sena are lacking right now, but it could be covered if Jawhead is not very aggressive like
Light
Jonathan
me up
yesterday.
and watch
You
the
know, we-
world
so
burn!
that's the thing. So on the other hand, Team 5 great gamers, they are showing a lot of
I've been
options
waiting for
up.
too long.
They managed to pick up a carry along with a Xbog into the jungle. Now, my question being is, will Xbog snowball the game? Because it is quite hard against a Nolan, I have to say. So, uh, okay, so it looks like that would be the case. And with that, I think I am joined by Jenny. Hello, Jenny.
Yeah, the thing is, I thought they were really gonna pick the Grog, and I would be really excited to see a Grog gameplay as a roamer or as a
Uh-huh.
EX. Okay, I think yep, that one shot kill would also be an add up to the whole draft. I really like the fact the way they're drafting. They got a Nolan on the jungle. He's the fastest jungler as of right now, and they also got that Phobius in the EXP. We'll get some really good initiations, I suppose. For the late game, they also have the Sicilian. Very well balanced and well calculated draft, I have to say. Again, On at the same time, the 5GG 5 Great Gamer, they have a Khalid in the EXP lane, very fast rotation, really good initiative as well, and they also have the Matilda in in case he gets stuck somewhere, that Matilda can get him out of there. Also, Nolan, they got that Aurora for Nolan to dive
Oh,
in. You have to be a real, a little bit careful. They got the freeze with that Aurora. Her freeze wins. He can get frozen anytime. So I have to say, both the teams actually did a pretty decent job in the draft. But yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, Xborg can really annoy Phobias, I suppose, but I'm not sure how good Xborg will be. I really like the jungler pick of Nolan from the side of. Correct me.
that for they from Nolan pick is from Daaku Sena, and there will be Team Five great gamers who are on their blue side.
Yep. And we're in the land of Dawn, and we're about to see who's gonna. I mean, draft looks good both sides, but at the end, it's all gonna come up to the rotation, the synchronization, and communication. So let's see. I guess Crunch is back.
Oh, I think so, but let's just proceed. Look at that. Nolan already fast clearing his minions up, but I have to say that the Firaga armor of Xbox, will it be safe into the hands when the Nolan comes up to his face? Okay, looks like
Yeah,
Crunchy
yeah.
is not.
I guess I thought he was back because okay, never mind. Okay, Crunchy, you can come back later and have a look at the bottom lane. Looks like Phobius is dominating Khalid in the bottom in the EXP again. Have a look at Nolan. He's on level 4 already. Meanwhile, Praz is still in level 3. That's what I said when the fastest jungler. When I mentioned the fastest jungler, Nolan already. Okay, look at that. Look at that.
What the hell? It's just not even 2 minutes into the game and he's popping off Firaga armors. This is what I wanted to say, I don't think Xbox will be ever safe alone.
Yeah, they did do a great job at securing that Khalid in the EXP, but then again,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't come up with a better answer for the Nolan export in the early game. I don't think he's gonna be able to do much. He's still on level 3. I mean, your jungler is in level 3 when the opponent jungler is already in the level 4 and he's dealing a lot of damage and roaming all around the map. Not a good start.
Definitely not a good start for Xbox. Jenny, did you see how Zogai was actually following up the Xbox with his rotation? He's just making sure that the Xbox won't be getting those farm. But fortunately, the Xbox retribution hit onto that creep and did not miss. So he got that level 4. And the aggression coming in from Team Daaku Sena already. That minion steal from Jawhead and Cecile, and they are just not leaving it up. And with that, the turtle is spawned.
Yeah, look at their positioning. They are so set up for the turtle. They got the minion wave. They did, very great wave management. And then the positioning for the turtle, again in the mid line, they're looking up to pick up a fight over there. They might actually get Sorcerer down, but the passive pops in and Sorcerer survives. Again, looks like they will be trying and invading that purple buff, and that's a pause. Pause coming in.
Okay. Quite not sure, but looks like the match has resumed. The blue buff in jeopardy. It is a show for the Nolan.
Yep. They took it, right?
I think so. They definitely, because I really don't think that that Xbox is having up. But let's just see that quite in some time. But the top lane, Nolan has been taking those buffs. There has not have been any first blood yet, despite the 3-minute mark. But
That's an ejector. That's an ejector on Matilda over there, and he is down as well as Carry in the top. They took out the gold laner as well as the roamer. It could be Sorcerer's turn. Sorcerer, bro, you need to back up. You don't go alone to defend against 4 people over there with that much of dive capacity. Oh, that was a mistake. Why would you even do that?
I think Aurora wanted that kind of play where we see the South Indian heroes when we hide everything. So she should not.
Bro thinks it's Bahubali, but he's not. He got taken down.
Yes, definitely. And another one. Look at that. The Praga armor being popped as well. The circling eagle into the play.
Yep, Cycling Eagle did go into the play, but Haitatsu did manage to escape still. I mean, they don't have the potential as of right now to win again, so they're gonna have to play really passive, given the fact that they barely have early game potential as of right now, and Pras is in level 5, while Zogai, opponent jungler, is in level 8. So you're gonna have to play really passive and maybe work out a little bit on your wave management and try and farm from the minion wave only, because they're not even letting you get your purple buff. They're invading continuously, and also they're just setting up their next turtle.
This is how you actually play when you have a Nolan in your team. You're just making sure that he would be invading. You're making the way for him. Look at the Jawhead, look at the Sicilian as well. They are always there for the backup. That is how the play is being made from the side of Team Daaku Sena right now. But on the other hand, they are just making sure how the Xbox won't be snowballing the game as well. Look at that. He can go in alone. He can come back. He does not need the help.
Oh, look at that. I mean, just like that. The blink of an eye, his armor is gone. That's when I said, like, is that a really good answer? I don't think so. No, they got the top lane. They're not pressuring up the mid lane. It's just Osama over there. Osama been lagging. Oh my god! Again, they're trying to pressurize the bottom lane, and the moment this guy calls off retry gap comes in, he's gonna die. I mean, they have enough CC to get Khalid down. Although he's trying. There are some backup coming, but up to no avail.
Oh, that was such a close call for the guiding lights to hit, but unfortunately he was taken down. Another fight coming in.
Yup. They're just dying one by one. And like I said, they should be playing really passive and try and get some items, try and get some gold, hold into the game. But they're not doing that. Okay, because again, even Daaku Sena, they're just pressurizing into there. They're trying to look at that in the bottom lane. It could be Cosmetric Gap versus Jazz over there. Yam Rajuj. Oh wait, hold on. What is that? Yam Razuliization. Oh my god, am I even right?
That is very, very big the username, but it looks like they are just farming a point. Well, that just
Yep.
one freeze onto that Jawhead was able to take down him. But on the other hand, they got their first kill, so I think this is kind of a win situation for them. But yet again, they are lacking on that goal that they need. The
Mm.
Xbox has been annoyed very, very much right from the minute one. I have to say, Jenny, and with that, the turtle has been taken off. They are just showing no mercy to them, and again, look at that.
Yep. They don't let him, they're choking them. And the five great gamers are actually choking. That's another kill. Sorcerer just popped his passive, but one bit enough to survive so many of them. And yeah, you can hear my cooker in the background.
No worries, Jenny, but I hope something delicious is cooking up. And let's just come into the game. The aggression, they just made sure that the Clint would be farming as well. He's already 201. We are right now at the 7 minute mark with a score of 1 for 6. I think they might be able to get the game as well because Team Daaku Sena, they have shown that early aggression and dominance that they need. And wait a minute, look at that.
Yeah, that ejector. I mean, that ejector. Again, I just mentioned my pressure cooker. The Daaku Sena, they're cooking 5GG like my pressure cooker is cooking rice, man.
Definitely. Those ejector plays are right on. They're just making sure that the enemies would be flying. I'm definitely looking at a South Indian movie right now. And with that, another ejector coming to play, but he quite not got that window. Okay.
Yeah, that was another ejector. I mean, ejector after ejector, killing spree. Osama, they finally manages to take down Zogai. That's a good shutdown on Zogai. They've been looking for that shutdown. But will that be enough? Will this be a window? I still don't think so. Look at the gameplay. They are on the, they are not on the driver's seat. They are the driving as of right now. Daaku Sena. So I don't know. 5G, how will they manage to come out of this situation and find a window? But let's see, PG.
Jenny, it's just 8 minutes into the game. They have managed to pop off two of the passive from the inhibitors already. This is a big W for Team Daaku Sena right now, I have to say. And also, those ejector plays are so right on that it is enabling them to for their single pickups. I was really not sure about into the draft how the synergy between the Jawhead and the Sicilian will be, but I think it is coming into the play right well.
Yeah. They made no mistakes, Daaku Sena. They are up for the game. They want it and ASAP. They even got the Lord. Everything uncontested. The turtles, the Lord, uncontested. They have been setting up everything properly with so much discipline. They have managed. They did not even clash a lot unnecessarily.
The,
They just want to finish
the
it smoothly.
And the thing is, like when you see the draft of both the teams on paper, it is actually looking very good. It has a possibility where Team Five Great Guys can actually counter them, but it all depends on the skills that they have, and they are showing us right now. Look at that Nolan. Though guy has been annoying that Xbox every single minute that he has possible. I have not seen one lasting insanity coming into the play. Where look at him again,
He
he is
won.
all gone.
Oh no, no, that you won. I mean, level 14 Nolan with wait, oh, hold on. I think they're looking for an end. They're coming in, starting getting new stuff. There's a raging sandstorm already expanded as well. Xborg over their process struggling, and that's the freeze been used up just, but okay, they managed to stay just down, and the fighting in the last insanity popping in, and the Lord will probably be defended at the cost of Jazz. Well, the minions are still there. The super minion wave are still there. Will they be able to defend? Yes, as of now.
Okay, looks like that is a good defend coming in. I was not expecting it, despite the goal difference that they had, Jenny.
Yep. The goal difference is like more than 10,000 goal difference in 10 minutes. Again, Last Insanity popping up and shut down on Osama bin Lagging, as well as Haitat's not a shutdown, but Haitat's a ghost down. That was him. Like that guy's ejectors one after the other really helped them.
Oh, he has a streak. I have to say, Jenny, like he's just waiting for that someone to be pick off. Even if it's Khalid, he's just making sure to throw them up into the air. But Zo guy, he was trying to see something, but looks like he got nothing.
Yeah. Well, honestly speaking, there's still no losses for Daaku Sena. I mean, they still got the whole map covered. It's like the whole map is their domain. They're probably gonna take another Lord, if not push in, if not pressurize. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. They do have this 25 seconds window to make a difference, but I don't think they have much in their capacity right now to go up against Daaku Sena.
I do agree with you, Jenny. Even though they have managed to get a score, but okay, something is popping up.
Yep, definitely. A Sagling Eagle is used up already and is taken down. The rumor is down already. And double kill on the EXP laner. Cause of Retri Gap. They are coming in, the minions are coming in from all the sides. And they are willing to end it right over here. Last Insanity been already used up. They don't have any skills. They don't have any resources left. They just carry trying to hit up those minions with a basic attack. Well, that Crystal has been taken down. Very low in HP. They're trying to stop the minions in the mid lane, but the minions are popping inside. Look at Haitatsu going straight in for the base, and that's the Crystal being taken down. Daaku Sena, very smooth victory.
Oh my god, what a gameplay coming in. They made sure to take down the crystal without a lot. That was highly unexpected. And yet again, that one cannon minion was a lifesaver for Team Dakusena. Unfortunately, the whole team was so focused on to the bot side of fight. So they actually managed to not see the minions pouring in. And with that, congratulations to Team Dakusena for picking up the win.
Yep, I guess we'll be right back with another match. You guys just watched Daaku Sena versus 5GG. Very good and smooth gameplay by Daaku Sena. And yep, just hold on, guys. Don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back.
witnessing this match will be Sasuke and Crooks. And you all will also be witnessing this electrifying match where one individual team will be moving on into the next round, whereas the other team, well, their dreams will have been shattered into pieces with this just one individual match. Each team competing in today's matchup is going to personify their home state, and these matchups will reshape which team stands as tall as the best in their region. So, without further ado, let's get into the teams. The teams going up against each other will be Maksad, we can also call them MD on the blue side, versus Rayuga Esports on the red side, and they will be representing some other states. So, Crooks, please let me and the viewers let us know what your thoughts are on today's match.
Well, talking about today's match, I'm gonna be honest, I'm excited. MD has been performing really good, and then again, there is somebody in the casting desk who is the coach for Rayuga Esports. Give it up for Sasuke!
Well, thank you guys, and technically I won't be speaking, just because I am the actual coach, but I was just named as a coach, and technically I didn't do anything for the team, and which is quite bad. But talking about Raigo Sports, I have seen the teams performing in the previous tournaments, and these players are exceptionally well. But this time, it seems like Raigo Sports is totally on a new lineup today.
Well, I'll take your word for it, but unless we all realize the coach is actually casting for the match, so let's give it a round of applause for him and his team. But I'll give myself a round of applause for MD because they are going up against the casters team. Okay, that aside, guys, always remember that the registrations are still open, and both of the teams are from different states, so this was going to be an exciting match. What do you think is going to happen in the starting of the draft?
Well, technically,
Well,
I'm assuming like
Well, the draft has already begun, so please do not miss out on the action as you can download Mobile Legends 5v5 now. The game link will be down in the description below, so please do not miss out on the action as the draft has already begun. Sasuke and Crooks, you both can take it on from here.
All right, perfect. Sasuke, give me your opinions on a Cyclops pick right in the starting of the match. How do you think that's going to fan out in the whole match?
Well, technically speaking, I'm quite amazed to see a Cyclops pick as a first pick coming in from MD. But in the contrary, Raiga Sports, they've been locking down with the Winstar along with the Changi, and I have this opinion like MD, that is Team Maksud, would be prioritizing again a safe or comfort picks over some meta picks, which I believe would technically go or would suffice their needs. But again, talking about the meta picks, it is the meta, and you definitely don't want to give it away all to your enemies, though.
True. When you're talking about meta, Ruby is meta, Chip is meta, Ling and Suyu are pretty much always in the meta. Then again, we see an Alice, so you think we're gonna see an Alice going goal lane this match, or are we gonna see maybe two marksmen? Well, I can keep my hopes up because, whoa, okay, we see an Ixia ban. This is so rare. I'm gonna be honest with you. Ixia has that insane ultimate. That ultimate can wipe out people if you just buy yourself Sky Piercer and get some stats. It can completely wipe out people. Now that Lance has been banned, what do you think is going to be another ban coming in from your team, Team Ryuga Esports?
Well, technically, I believe like they would be choking down a EXP lane or maybe a gold laner because Team MD they are yet to pick the two heroes for both of the side lanes. And looking at that, Phobius just being banned out, and technically speaking, Phobius is quite a good ban because there talking about the EXP meta right away, there is the Phobias along with Khalid and Edith and Terizla. These four are just two dominating heroes in the EXP lane, creating havoc and nuisance to the enemy jungler if they just decided to invade. And invading is quite possible with those heroes. And I have to say, like, the Phobias is just too tanky in the mid to late game of the phases, because his ultimate technically doesn't have the cooldown, but once it gets connected, he's unstoppable.
He's an NBA star. Talking about NBA star, there's another NBA star who's pretty good at taking down objectives and also taking the buff from the enemy when they go to the EXP lane. That's Jawhead. We saw him last game. The ejector gameplay was insane. A Sylvana in the jungle and a Hanabi with the Lolita. This is going to be an easy late game. Will RayugaEsports counter that with their beautiful Claude pick, or are they go? Are wait? Are we seeing a Cho jungler?
Well,
Chocolate
technically,
Chan is going Cho jungle.
you know, technically it too comes in handy with a tanky build, I assume. So with Joe on a tank build, I assume like that EXP Midstar will be the damage dealer. So I mean, it either way comes in handy, because you got the Minotaur for the team CC and to engage, and then you got the Minstar ultimate to pair it up with the Minotaur, and then out of nowhere there is Joe popping down the pack liners, and just making his way through the enemy team, just lurking around and making sure he gets the back line. And in terms of damage, you got the Changi. When the two of the frontliners are just making their moves, you just need to ult and make sure you deal ton amount of damage. And there is Leslie just to make sure he gets the escaping enemies with the sniping abilities.
While talking about sniping abilities, Chang'e also has an insane range on the ultimate, making her a good sniper too. Then again, we are back in the land of Dawn for this exciting match between MD and our Ryuga Esports.
Mhm. A pretty decent rotation, this seems, as of now. Like, looking at the rotations, we can assume like the show will be rotating towards the gold lane, but in contrary, Silvana has a different plans, because she's rotating or maybe rotate towards the EXP lane. But look at that Alpha sneaky plays already coming in handy, trying to go for a pack line push and provide some vision. But
Uh,
Minster was already there to back it, deny that plans from that Minster though.
Minstar did good after doing some damage with the blue buff, but talking about damage, Leslie is completely zoning out that Hanabi. Hanabi doesn't have a chance. Simba is struggling in the top lane, and Lolita is finally here to give some hope to the Hanabi Simba.
Mhm. Look at that. Sneaky plays coming in from Leslie. She's already zoning out and making sure he hits that Hanabi, making sure she is forced to retreat. And look at that Joe, already down level 4 and making his way towards the pack line. Is looking for the way. The way of dragon might connect, but there is the shield. Age is being popped up from Hanabi. Things looking dire, but look at that chocolate Chan. He is so persistent, looking for the first blood. There is the backup from Silvan ultimate being popped out, and there is the first blood as Joe goes down. The backup from Lolita is already there, the 3-4-2, but this time first blood in the hands of MD.
MD taking the first blood is the nail on the coffin for that turtle fight. Maybe Sylvana is going to get to that level 5 pretty early, so there is not going to be much of a chance for Cho to get that retribution battle in.
Oh, look at that. And over engage and the damage from Leslie is on point. But look at that. Means Noto just barely escaping in dire nick amount of HP flicker being popped up from both Leslie along with the Minotaur. So there is a huge resources up. And in the bot lane, the turtle is up, and Chocolate Chan along with that. I don't know what to say, but along with Changi, making sure they get the first turtle or use resources out. But in the top lane, Sylvana definitely using his ultimate, making sure he gets the kill. There is the Lolita for the backup, but it will be Leslie playing it safe and dealing a nick or tiny damage. But even tiny damage makes a huge damage eventually. But look at that 1v3 situation in the top lane.
Minotaur coming up, we might actually see much of a defense In the patch notes, of course, we see that the exterior towers, the tier 1 towers, actually give healing now if you guys vote for it. And Minotaur actually engaging in with the low HP gets the kill onto the Lolita without any risk on her part. And the Minstatar coming in with the King's Calling completely decimates the Hanabi, and the Leslie's ultimate secures the kill onto the Cyclops. That was one-sided, even though Leslie was the one taking everything in the starting of that team fight.
Definitely, the microplays coming in from RayugaEsports are just on point. Minstar rotating towards the top lane just to support down his team was just on point. But look at that microplays coming in from Lolita. Oh, this time Sylvana might be in some trouble. Player Dragon being used and connecting down Sylvana, but there is the Pneumonian Blast connecting down Joe, and the damage from Sylvana will be more than enough to melt down that Joe.
Well, Marky made some few mistakes in the early game where he was overextending and trying to get the kill onto the Minotaur when Minotaur was showing himself with the low HP, and that's what led them to lose the first turtle. They're not going to be any good if they keep missing on the turtles.
Seems like case, but again in the top lane they are prioritizing too much. It seems like Hanabi is the one to make sure they get new farm, and there is the Minonian Fury connecting nobody. That along with that it is that is perfect deflection deflecting down, and it will be Minotaur who will be getting hit in a crossfire.
Yep, Minotaur got too much damage from his teammate Changa. Right now, bot lane Alpha has to use the Vengeance. They can't really take the turtle fight. The blue team has the advantage right now. Marky is zoning out. And Star zones out the Marky with the Thunderbelt, but he can't secure the kill onto them. Joe, landing that could... Can you take over?
Definitely, and that is the Joe connecting down his first kill. And oh, wait a minute, that is a beautiful execution. The damage from Minotaur, not a Minotaur, but the Minstar is already there, and that is a 1v3 situation. MD definitely going down, making some near damage, and it will be, I believe it was Silver Rock securing down that second turtle for the team. And Hanabi was busy clearing down the top towers after she got a kill over to the Leslie. Definitely we missed out that fight, but in the bot lane, Ryga Sports definitely doing something. They should have taken down the bot tier 1 tower.
Yep, I'm gonna be honest with you. 2 turtles down, and there is right now a 3k gap. It is no 2k gap, 2,800 gap onto the side of the red team. Marky is not able to do much, even though he has the kill advantage. Leslie is going to do a lot of damage, even with the Minotaur. Cyclops is engaging with the ultimate. Numenon Blast has popped up, has to make Minotaur waste his flicker, and he goes back, not taking too much, waiting for a counter engage on his team.
But wait a minute, the damage coming in from Joe was just obnoxious, and this time it will be the Changi with that insane damage. I do believe like Lolita did open down her shield, but it was all in vain because she was the one along with Simba going down, and this time Wave Dragon connecting down Sylvana, and he'll be the next one to fall down because the damage from my desk is up, and I believe he'll be just going down for another kill because Alpha is the next one to cut off guard. Alpha charge being used in a defensive way, but it will be all in vain because one sneaky sniper shot is more than enough to melt you down. And again, Changi being used his ultimate, but Numenian class connecting 2 members, but there is no backup. And this time, wait a minute, Hanabi definitely doing some engages, but there is a flicker play. King's Calling connecting down 2 members of MD, and it will be a 3-for-4 trade, this time in the hands of RayugaEsports.
Yes, sir. When you noticed, Minsatar started that fight with the hook onto the Alpha, made Alpha waste his Spear of Alpha. The whole team fight revolved around that one Leslie, that flicker onto inside the tower, doing the damage, securing the kill onto the Hanabi and the Lolita, gave him a lot of farm, even though he died in the end. It's alright, because Minsatar was right there with a flicker and the King's Calling to secure the last set of kills.
That is true, and I really want to see down the itemization coming in from both of the teams because the damage is already up and there is the ultimate being used on. This time it will be the Mistar. Might be some differentiate and there is the King's Calling but connecting four members and look at the backup coming in from Minotaur. The Minotaur Fury connecting four members. That there is no backup. Joe is the only one and this time he might be in some trouble as he's running away for his life. Look at the Changi damage is on point, and I do believe like Lolita would have used down her shield, but again, look at that aggressiveness from his Joe, man.
Oh, Shimpo and Jude Kundo is not going to help him right now because Alpha has the Spear of Alpha. And Changa got the kill on Lolita. But with that attack speed build, she's able to secure a double kill and save his team the humiliation from taking unnecessary fights in the early match. Leslie securing the triple kill was the cherry on top.
Mhm. No, the damage. Each single shot of this Leslie hurts more than breaking down with your girlfriend though. But again, oh, Minonian Fury definitely wasting down, and there is the Pneumonian Blast being cancelled out, and it will be Changi along with the Leslie marking down the empty space, and it will be over with a nick amount of time.
To be fair, I actually didn't expect Leslie to melt down that tower so quick. I'm going to be honest with you. RayugaEsports was on top of their game today.
Definitely.
How does it feel? How does it feel to be the proud coach of RayugaEsports right now, Sasuke?
Well, I was hoping like they would be prioritizing some unique heroes or some unique picks, but turns out they know their match, they know their gameplays, also they know their team members, and definitely team bonding and certain stuffs are essential for the teams. But I really want to look at the itemization coming from both of the teams because even in the early game it was Leslie who was doing too much damage in the early game itself.
Very much. I'm gonna be honest with you. Hanabi didn't stand a chance. That was impressive gameplay from Minotaur and Hanabi. Minotaur and Leslie, I mean. And again, Lolita's shield gets countered by Minotaur. We didn't see that happening much this time, but it's all alright because RayugaEsports was there to secure the win and secure the title.
Well, that is absolutely true. And Numi, do you have anything to cover it up or spice it up for the viewers?
Well, that was truly an amazing match with Silverhawk, aka Chocolate Chan, with Joe as high as jungler. That was pretty surprising. But anyways, as Ryuga Esports has won this match, we will be back soon. So stay with us for the next match because the next match is against Grand Blue and Buri Buri Zaiwan. Honestly, I love the name as I am also a Sunchan fan. But these two teams will be representing the state Assam, so stay with us and please do not leave. We will be back right back.
Well, another evening, another chance to witness an amazing game. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Northeast Cup, where the stage is set up. Where the stage is set up, and onto the blue side it will be Team Blue Grand taking on Buri Buri Simon on the right side. I'm the host Sasuke, as you all know, and my partner Naruto is somewhere lost in the grass or village. I don't know,
Sasuke!
probably.
Not there.
Wait, wait. I mean, technically, Crucifix, I was about to introduce you. You don't have to scream my name. I'm all right here. I'm present here. I can hear you well. I can see you well.
I love the
Probably,
energy. I love the energy. Just wanted to match it up, you know? I got you, homie.
well, technically, these are my fans. Just kidding. And moving on, we have some amazing people on joining or to witness. For the casters, it will be Silver Rock joining my fan favorite Crucifix. Welcome those guys.
I
Oh
don't know
man,
if
that
I'm.
was a good introduction, Sasuke. As you just mentioned, it's going to be the Grand Blue onto the blue side, and it's going to be Buri Buri Zaimon onto the red side from the cartoon, from the Shin-chan we have watched as kids. But let's see how well this is actually going to go with.
Well, to be
Absolutely. And I have some questions for you guys prepared because I hadn't seen either of the teams play before. So what are your thoughts? Like, what could be the possible bans? Crucifix.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea. I'm just gonna say Grand Blue, One Piece thing, a theme, I guess. They paid the no, this is totally a lie. I'm just making it up just because I want some interaction in the audience. But it's just that Grand Blue might have actually pulled some strings to be in the blue side. What do you guys think? I know I'm stupid. I know I'm actually making it up. Just saying.
Well, that is some
Yep.
quite amazing speculations coming in from you. So, Silver Rock, what do you think? Like, which team would you vouch for based on the names itself?
Well, actually, from the red side, the team Buri Buri Zaimon, that name actually just brights up a spark, man. Like, we just watched Shinchan as kids, and that guy was actually really brutal. Like, just making all those stuff happening against, like, the action Kamen and the Quantum Robot. But let's see, the first ban from the blue side, the Grand Blue, they decided to ban out the Minseta. I'm actually just making up stuff because you know what? Minseta is the first ban. Come on, like, you don't actually just make up a reason because of why you ban a Minseta as the first ban.
Definitely. And moving on to draft phase, I hereby respect Custer's takeaway as the draft is probably going on right now.
Yes, sir. We can see an Edith getting banned. Like we witnessed yesterday, Leo told us that Edith is one of the make or break heroes. Minotaur on the gold lane EXP lane has so much value with the King's Calling. It is immensely helpful in every team fight. And again, Alice, another very stable gold lane pick. It's not a mid lane pick anymore. Silverhawk, can you believe Alice is not a mid lane hero anymore?
Well, actually, that's true because of the buff, the mana, so that it actually really works good on the gold lane. I mean, all you need to build is just those core items for yourself, and you can just join the team fight. Like that's all you actually have to do with. And about the Ruby ban, it's actually a good ban for the side of Team Buri Buri Zaimon along with Ed, as you just mentioned. I'm actually just predicting some assassin bans because they just left to go with, like the Haya, like the Ling or the Suyo. They're not even getting feared by that.
Well, more than everything in the jungle, it's the gold lane that matters the most. Ruby, Alice are dangerous for any marksman players because last match was one of the few matches that I've seen two marksmen being picked on the gold lane. It's just either one marksman or maybe no marksman at all coming in the gold lane. Right now, I was happy to see that one game of relief where I could actually breathe and watch two marksmen take it off. Leslie and Hanabi talking about marksmen complete opposite side of the map, but we have people like Phobius and Damus fighting it off like crazy lunatics, not even giving each other 1 second to breathe. Phobius is one of those people who gets banned.
Yep, that is right. And about the phobias, like on the EXP side, leaning against every single hero, like after just he unlocks his fourth level, then the Infernal Pursuit just pops again and again, just fulfilling his HP back after every team fight. So that's a good ban from the side of Team Grand Blue. And along with the chip has been banned from Buri Buri Zaimon, so that actually leaves the first pick into the hands of Grand Blue. Let's see what they actually want to go with, the comfort picks or actually like the meta picks like a Haya or like a Ling or a Suyo, because the Suyo is still open now. If they want to, they could actually go with it.
Wait, is Suyu actually allowed in the tournament? Because last I checked, no, that was a different tournament. Suyu was disabled, but we are not allowed to see a Suyu in the match. Never mind. Northeast Cup Suyu is open. We can see that insane gameplay, but instead we see a Khalid coming in. A Frito mention in the chat, guys. Come on, Frito deserves it. Much love, Frito. Back to you, Silverhawk.
Definitely, that Fluid deserves that goat tag for that good gameplay of that Khalid you just mentioned, Cruz, and that just speaks for a first pick from the side of Team Grand Blue. That actually leaves a lot of heroes open to the Buri Buri Zaimon to pick up. That's going to be probably a backfire to them because there's a lot of heroes open. Like I'm actually guessing like a Aurora or a Zas kind of thingy right now, but let's see they want to go with a Guttoad, just leaning against that Khalid onto the EXP side or like a Roamer along with the Valentina, so that whatever the utility heroes they go with, that Valentina is just going to steal every single ultimate. But probably like she might get confused, like which ultimate should I steal if they go for more utility heroes?
Well, to be fair, Raging Sandstorm is one of the ultimates that you can copy for a little bit of a, let's say, oomph in a team fight. But there are better ultimates like Carmilla's and everything that Valentina could copy with the IMU and completely negate people. But that's not going to be happening because we see a Matilda getting picked, and maybe we're going to see a flying swan dance from a debt and Matilda as a combination. Nope, that's not going to happen. It's just going to be Last Insanity. I thought we were going to have some real good music and stuff. Eh, it's just a mad dude screaming and setting things on fire. It's all right.
I thought like your mood actually just went down because that guy didn't actually pick a Odette for themselves. But it's going to be Xbox onto the jungler. Let's see how the team Buri Simon actually just counters that Xbox, because all I think right now they actually might want to go for a fight a jungle to just lane against, like just fight off that Xbox, or like assassin to just melt down that mage or the marksman. But I would actually prefer Alpha against that Xbox to just melt down that Firaga armor and get the kill over to him, because they also have a Gato. Like if the Xbox loses his Firaga armor, I do think so that Gato is just going to ult him when he doesn't have the Firaga armor onto him, and that could actually might be a great choice to counter an Xbox. But regardless of that, we are going to see a Carmel, as you just said, Crucifix.
A Carmilla, I expected that on Grand Blue side. I'm not gonna sit here and expect a Valentina and a Carmilla. Wait, does that actually work? A Last Insanity and a Curse of Blood. Do you think that's gonna decimate people? Because to be fair, Last Insanity, I'm not really sure if it has magic scaling, but it might actually do a bunch of damage.
Yep. And also, like they didn't actually wanted to give the Carmela towards their hands, so they just picked it up themselves. And that gut will probably just lane against to that Khalid, and just moving on to the second phase of banning is going to be a Ling. Finally, some assassin bans we are seeing right now. Onto the first phase of banning, we didn't actually saw any jungler at all. They were just saving it up for the second ban because the Boribori Zaimon don't have the jungler yet. So banning out the assassins right now, I do think so. It's a good choice to do so.
True. Right now, Khalid could be a roamer or an EXP. Borg could go into the jungle or maybe EXP. So it's not confirmed yet. So right now, Buri Zaimon actually have a little bit of that leeway to understand what the enemy, Grand Blue, is going to pick as the jungler or maybe the roam. And again, I don't know why they picked Carmilla, because that would have been beneficial if the enemies picked him. Besides, Carmilla can't really do much against Gato and Kaka, and Valentina doesn't necessarily need a Carmilla. But it's alright, we don't know how people are gonna play. MOBB is a game of chance. 10% skill, 90% will. Am I right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And I'm just making some assumptions because the curse of blood, if it's connected properly, that gut was just going to jump up. And just imagine if that Valentina has a raging sandstorm from that Khalid as well. It's going to be a wombo combo, or perhaps could be a wipeout to the Grand Blue. But let's see how they will actually execute it to themselves. It's going to be, and for the last dance, it's going to be the both marksmen. From the blue side, it's the Moscow, and from the red side, it's going to be a Claude. They actually don't want to go for those marksmen anymore. I was actually just making things like onto the gold side. In this current meta, I haven't seen much marksman being going on except for the Leslie and the Ixia.
Ixia, a very strong contender. Yeah, I have not seen Leslie even while ranking up. I don't think I've ever seen a Leslie being picked, but we do see a carry
I've
being
been
picked,
waiting for
which
too long.
is not. It's not a really strong pick against Khalid and Export. It could melt them down, sure. The Firaga armor can keep Export safe, and the Sand Veil could keep Khalid safe. So I'm guessing some strategy is going on in their head, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yep, that's right. And I was just making some predictions about that Aurora, and it will be completed if they want to just go for that Aurora to just counter that Valentina or that carry to just gank them up in the early game, so they won't have the lead game comp onto themselves. And also, they have Xbox to them to just make sure the zoning goes really well, because the Matilda is not actually enough to just zone them out. That Guard Toad along with the Carmela will just go for every single objective like the Turtle and the Lord.
There are
And there
also
goes the I'm
shadows.
super shy, just goes with the Nathan and the Rakti on that Louis.
True. Wait, are we gonna see a Franco pick? What do you think a Franco could do in this match right now? Nope,
Well,
we're
they
not.
actually have two, I mean, two tanky heroes for themselves. They will actually go for the Franco. I doubt that it's going to work because they have a Xbox to just melt the frontliners, as far as I know. But well, not actually. It's going to be a Franco. It's going to be Leo mod along with the IG, and that guy actually has a Leo picking up a Leo mod.
Wait, now that Leomord is picked, an Angela would have been a good pick too, because either way, both teams could have had supports. Matilda on the blue side, or like Grand Blue, and Buri Buri Zaman with an Angela instead of Carmilla. But, well, Carmilla does provide a way more value than an Angela in terms of having team fight potential with the Gatot, Valentina, and the Leomord.
Yep, that would be right. And I mean, just talking about the emblems from both of these teams, I'm actually being paranoid about that killing spree onto that Leo mod. Because if you're a jungler on Leo mod, I would actually prefer a lethal ignition to just melt those squishy heroes like the Nathan or the Louis in the early game, so they won't get farmed up. And you know what? Like in a killing spree, like if a curse of blood or like a ultimate of the card is probably connected, then only there's a possibility that killing spree is actually going to help him out.
Yep, guys, and we're back in the Land of Dawn, going for another really exciting match. But before we start talking about the match, download Mobile Legends Bang Bang or Mobile Legends Bang Bang, depending on where you are. And registrations are still open for the NE Cup, so get in there and get ready for exciting matches. Khalid going in, trying to take an early cut on the EXP lane. Frito is proud, guys. Frito is proud.
I actually like how you hype up the whole thing about that Fredo, but meanwhile, onto the bot side, that Nathan will probably just face the wrath of that Carmela along with that Valentina. It's going to be 1v3 situation, but they're not actually going to reveal themselves this early. But Leomord was actually just facing some early invasions towards his own red buff, or like the green creep towards near that red buff. But meanwhile, that Valentina is still back in the mid game. I mean, sorry, the mid lane, so that the Louis along with the Matilda so could actually just rotate onto the bot side, but still it won't be enough because that look at the position and the rotation of that Carmilla.
Carmilla is actually rotating to the bot lane to give some leeway for carry to actually do something. But talking about that, Lu Yi, Khalid, and Matilda were on Leo's back. Matilda is trying to get some vision onto the Oriburi Zaimon team, but I don't think she can with half her HP gone. What are your thoughts on this?
Man, that I'm still very excited about how fast that Carmilla is rotating. But if you see on that Matilda, she's actually being fixated to towards all those objectives. But meanwhile, the position of that Gato will actually just get him off guard, because if the Xbox actually just reveals his position, it's going to be way too tough for him to escape. But there he goes. He actually wanted to steal the creep, but let's see, will he actually escape? He still has that revitalize onto himself, but the last insanity might come in handy to just burst him down. Now the Phantom Steed has been used up to just go inside and take the kill, but will not actually get the kill over to themselves. But the fire missiles coming in handy, along with that Khalid wants to take the kill over to that Cartwood. But meanwhile, the fire missiles are actually more than enough. IMU used up along with encircling Eagle from that mid now, but not enough to take the kill. Along with the last insanity used up. Look at the XP, they're still fighting back as far as they can, but it's going to be a first blood in the hands of that Xbox. This turtle might get contested again, because there's like 4 people ready to go on that turtle for a good team fight coordination from both of these teams.
Very much so. I'm going to be honest with you. Carmilla going down was such a shocker. I didn't expect Carmilla to actually engage that bad, but the last insanity was there to actually secure that. Made sure that Carmilla knows she will be punished every time she actually overengages, overextends. She will be punished. Team fight's happening. Do you want to take over?
Well, actually, look at the position of that Khalid. He's doing his work really well. He actually wants to zone him out. Long the Raging Sandstorm works in a really bad way, but meanwhile, this turtle might get perfectly retribution onto that Xbox. They just might just go for the zoning. But how perfect zoning that actually was, that Khalid just disrupting the position of that Leo mod, and that Xbox just marking that turtle to just melt him down and get the perfect retribution on himself. But so far, so good for both of these teams, because it's only as a first blood for that Xbox.
First blood was gone down by Carmilla. Xborg got the extra juicy 200 extra gold. And I would say he is on a better side, because right now we see that they got the turtle and everything is going good, because there is not much of a team fight going on. I wish we could see the itemization. Matilda is popping her ultimate onto the Carmilla, but has to disengage. Will get engaged by Valentina, who won't be able to do that much onto her, but she's fine. It's all in a day's work for support.
That actually want to just go for the contest of that gold crab, but they actually wants to take the kill over that Carmilla. Like, look how fast she runs. Like, all 3 people were just targeting that Carmilla hard, but she knows what to do right now. She'll probably just go for the recall, but meanwhile, onto the top side, it's going to be a one-win brawl against those EXP laners. Khalid just making sure the wave has been frozen, but still Gato has the 2 things, so he has the upper hand, because the basic attacks actually gives him a life steal. Probably just going for a rotation onto the top side. But do you actually think they'll be able to burst around that Gato?
Not actually, because right now I saw that Gatot actually bought the Thunderbelt, which will make him a little bit more tankier and would want him to engage. He will be looking in for an engage to punch somebody just to get 1 stack. And 1 stack at a time, every single drop matters, because every single drop makes an ocean.
Oh, but look at that Phantom Seed has been used up. Oh, that Louis forced to use a flicker along with encircling Eagle from that IMU. But again, it's going to be a payback given to them. But that Khalid actually wants to go for the redemption after taking the kill over to that Leo mod, but still not enough damage to do so. The Valentina actually wants to take the kill over. The Speedy Light wins over to that. The Curse of Blood connected over 2 people. So that turtle actually go into the hands of them. That Khalid actually wants to zone them out along with the retribution from that Xbox. Just actually takes the kill. Kato just wants to give a lot of backup to his team. But this turtle, that retribution plays from that Xbox definitely secured the turtle for himself, because that Leo mod was almost on his way to just steal that turtle. But that Khalid, look at that. How much damage is he actually dealing with this one?
He's dealing a lot of damage, but we can always remember that Khalid is going to fall off if he doesn't buy enough damage items in the late game. So, talking about damage, Xborg on point. He's always there to make sure that they don't lose out on objectives. Right now, when you saw that Leomord was overextending on top lane, Xborg was making sure that his mindset is all about getting the objectives and pushing his team to the victory. Top lane gets cut again by the Khalid, and we see not much of a rotation, because both Carmilla and Matilda are waiting in their respective pushes, hoping they can catch people off guard when they're rotating.
Yep. And also that Valentine actually wants to steal that ultimate from the Raging Sandstorm from that Khalid. But But if you just see onto the both of those marksmen, they're trying to keep up their farm really well, just avoiding all the team fights and focus on their own farm, so that in the late game they would shine really brightly. But onto the top, I mean, on the mid side, it could be a possible gang, but no, they actually just want to resist over there. That Liam already with his red buff ready to gank on that Nathan, just trying to just look at those three-man rotations from both of these teams. Circling Eagle along with the guiding wings used up, along with that Sandstorm actually wants to take the kill. Entropy from that Nathan used up to deal a ton amount of damage, along with the Phantom Steel used up. Last Insanity just dealing a lot of damage to them. Speedy Light was just carries actually just wants to go back, just zoning inside the turret. That Phantom Seed along with the Phantom Storm was actually not enough to take the kill, but he still wants to go inside. But that damage and the range wasn't enough, because if the momentum would have actually hit that Louis or that Nathan, I do think so they were probably dead, because the guiding wings were the only thing they just survived the whole team fight.
Yep, talking about team fight, that team fight made Liu Yi waste her flicker. That's going to be a very, very bad thing when it comes to the turtle fight. Because if she gets caught again, and if Matilda is not there to guide him,
But actually, Entropy used up from the plate and just burst down the turret along with the encircling eagle to just melt down that with the flicker used up from the Valentina on the perfect time. Actually, just want to just go for the divergent plays, but the Louis ult is still there on the Valentina. The Gato just swapped the lanes. The carry just focused onto that split pushes so that she could get a lot of farm. Like the divergent play has been used up, but not actually just enough to go for a gank. But that side could possibly go for a good gank, but the Matilda still doesn't have the encircling eagle onto her.
true, I'm gonna be honest with you. 3 turtles down and Xborg is looking fat as hell. Khalid might be in trouble if that carry is able to free hit him every single time. Talking about free hits, Nathan got a few free hits on the Gatot in the bot lane.
Yup. I mean, also like look at this item. See, I mean, both of those marksmen are just too fixated with just getting their own farm, like selfish for themselves, so that they could actually just shine the late game. But meanwhile, you could just see a gank happening onto the top lane, circling Eagle used up. That Carmela is actually looking for a good setup with a Louis with the Yin Yang over. I mean, look at that damage shown to them. It's going to be a double kill. But so they actually just want to go and fight back with the Phantom Shield from that Leo mode used along the Raging Sandstorm. But that's not actually enough to get the kill over to them. They just want to just shut down that Leo mode. But I mean, look at that. He was actually just going for a fight, but then he escapes while looking at how many people are ready to just take him down.
Pretty much so. Nathan has no chance. I don't know why he actually engaged with the entropy and had to back off, but that was a smart decision because right now nothing much is happening except the Avatar hitting onto the ground, trying to catch the Matilda. The flying Matilda cannot be caught without a lot of CC. Unless you're a Franco, you can't catch that.
I mean, that was barely missed, but meanwhile, onto the mid side, that Valentina just wants to go with aggressive gameplay, but the Phantom's huge amount of 2 people actually wants to take the kill over them. The Raging Sandstorm used up along with the Curse of Blood will actually just win this team fight, because all I see right now is like the brawl happening against the 3v3, that Leo mod along with the Phantom Seed. I mean, all that he could just do is push them up and just get a good Phantom Storm, so they could actually just get the kill for themselves. But again, it's going to be a cartwheel against that Louis, and the Khaled just wants to bait every single utility as he has, and all that he baits out is the Revitalize.
All that he baits out is the Revitalize and Xborg waiting in on the Lord, and I don't think it's going to be an early Lord. Do you think it's going to be a contest between both teams to get the early Lord?
Well, actually, we would see a lot of fight along with the Encircling Eagle, along the Phantom Seed. He is targeting that Nathan and Louis very hard as much as he can. Raging Sandstorm along the Flicker has been used up. That Speedy Light is along with the Nathan. Going to be pretty much it. The Curse of Blood along with the Gatos ultimate just dealing a lot of damage along with Last Insanity, taking the place over that carry and shutting him down. That Carmela is the only one left. It's going to be a triple kill for that Xbox. He's just might want to just go for a maniac, but all that he needs right now is that Gato skill. But he's still far away. They just might want to just focus onto that Lord, but that Khalid just want to disrupt themselves and just zone it out. But that, oh my god, that sacrifice, it was way too overextension. It could actually just count it as overextension, but Gato and that Valentina is still back into the game because the Nathan and that Xbox is still not enough to get that Lord for themselves. That Louis Divergence is still on point, just giving a good rotation for their own team.
Rotation, yes, because last time, if you saw in the top lane, both of those people who were defending on the top lane got caught off guard. Matilda, Lu Yi, and wait, I think it was the Khalid. I guess it was. but all three of them got most of the defending top lane people, including Gatot and the Carmilla. It was insane because in the end of the day, I didn't really think that much damage could come out of nothing. Talking about that, there is a damage coming in the mid lane.
Actually, they were just trying to wait out every single utilities they have, but the IMU it actually just take a lot of time for them. So that Carmilla just wants to wait out them the position, so that actually just come in handy to themselves. But that vengeance has been used up from them. There's no Firaga onto that Xbox. He just might want to just use the fire missiles onto that plot to just get the stacks up. That Gerto just going with his ultimate. So the entropy used to just escape from that situation. That Khalid just wants to go way too aggressive with the raging sandstorm that he has and takes the kill over to the vanity. Now, there actually the Louis who secures the kill with the dispersion. It is a great play, but let's see, will they actually go for a good contest over to that Lord? But it's going to be a Louis might want to just go down against like four people. The Ghost of Blood connected on to the no win. The carry actually takes the kill over to that Louis. Just want to just fight back for that Lord, but they were actually no one to just focus onto that Lord. That Xbox just takes the Lord for himself. It's going to be four people just retreating back on time.
Those four people on the blue team, red team, Buri Zaimon didn't really actually have a chance to take the Lord, but X-Borg got the free Lord, and blue team, Ramp Blue, finally got a kill for somebody other than X-Borg because X-Borg had 8 kills up until now, and the total number of kills were 9. X-Borg is now trying to push the top lane, trying to put some pressure on, while the mid lane is getting pressured bad.
Whoa, but that Raging Sandstorm used up along with that Leomord using that ultimate to just get the kill over to that Khalid, but the Winter Crown has been used up. You see the last Insanity from the IMU from the Vanity has been used up. Just trying to steal as much as dash possible. It's going to be a 4-man Curse of Blood. It actually wants to take the kill over to them, but that Leomord is still far away. But you know what? Even after the Winter Crown has been used up on that Khalid, if that's not enough, he could just use the S2 and heal himself back if that's like much more of it. But the slot probably just defensive. It's been defended by the carry, the speedy light fields that all she was actually wondering for, and all the farm she has. It's going to be Gato just going for ultimate, but it's going to be the guiding wings just helping that Louis right on time. That Sparrow's guiding wings were literally on point, man.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never seen a Matilda play aggressive and passive at the same time, if that makes any sense. She's able to give vision, but also be that deciding factor in most team fights. I'm not going to say all, but most team fights. She has more presence than Carmilla herself, even with the ultimate. I'm actually excited to see this.
Well, they might want to just go for a gank, but that Leomord, every single time whenever he sees someone, he's just forced to use that ultimate. Like he wants to get that kill really badly. The Raging Sandstorm used up to get a good setup. It's going to be 4 people just going inside within circle. He used up to just give them a good CC. But that Carmel actually wants to look for a good Curse of Blood because that's going to be a game changer. Because if it's going to be a 4 or 3 man or like a 5-man Curse of Blood connections, I do think so. It's going to be a wipeout for Grand Blue.
Yep. Oh, talking about that, when you told me in the drafting phase, if Carmilla actually lands a 5-man, Gatot 5-man Curse of Blood, Gatot launches the Avatar of Guardian, and everyone comes in, this is going to be an easy wipeout. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm expecting that, but you can always notice, we noticed how Nathan took the red buff out of the hands of Leomord. This is going to set him back a little bit because when you look at the map, like when you look at the levels and everything, Leomord is still level 14, and if he wants to have a chance with the Luminous Lord, he needs to get that level 15 before X-Borg can whittle it down to 19, 10% HP.
Yeah, because after getting the level 15, it actually increases the power and the damage of the retribution as well. And he could just work it well with that momentum that he has. But it's going to be that Khaled's actually want to go for the zoning that all he has. It's going to be the after from that gutter just used up. That Xbox secures a lot for himself along with the Vengeance and that Revitalize used up along the Raging Sandstorm. But it's going to be another Raging Sandstorm from that Khaled. The payback to them is going to be legendary for that Xbox. He actually wants to take the kill over to the last Insanity used up absolutely nowhere, but never actually got the kill over to them. Mr. Code actually went down as a good sacrifice, actually, in terms of stealing that Lord, but the Hyper, the Leo mod, was still not present in the team fight. He was actually just getting bullied by that Khalid. He was actually meant to just zone that Leo mod.
Leomord got zoned out so bad. I'm sorry to see this, but Gatot got taken down by the Khalid. Khalid did a really good job taking care of the backline, and then he charged on to somebody that had low HP. Top lane tier 2 goes down. Carmilla is going to get engaged. No, she's trying to go for an engage, but it's not going to happen. But then when we noticed Valentina took the Nathan, that would have been a good trade. A Gatot for a Nathan, but Lord was down and they can't really do much right now.
Yep, that is right. Raging Sandstorm used up, so he actually does another Raging Sandstorm for the next 30 seconds. That Lord could actually just come. But you know what? That got, I mean, the Louis is still present in the team fight for a good dispersion because that's what we're going to see right now. That carry with the speedy right leaves, she's just trying to bait out every single thing from themselves. That Khalid along to find them see. And after they was used up every single thing they have on the board, it's going to be Curse of Blood used up onto two people. Will actually get a good comeback for themselves. The Lord has been down because they're trying to fight back as much as they can. But the basic attacks from that Nathan actually gets the kill over to them. It's going to be a double kill for that Xbox. His immortality is still on there onto him. Even if he dies, it's going to be a good play for himself. It's going to be flickering sound, Raging Sandstorm from the Kali to take the kill over to that carry, but it wasn't enough. But that Kato will actually just go down in the immortality, but still it's not enough tankiness to just melt and just drain every single damage that he takes. That carry has given up because even after he just and takes the fight, she knows it's going to be a game over for her.
Yep. Well, it's alright, because even if Carrie did jump in and try to kill somebody, it's not going to work out, and that's totally fine. Sometimes we just need to give up when you really don't have much that you can do. It's alright, don't stress yourself, take a deep breath, have some water, and relax. And on that note, stay hydrated, guys, because you really need that water in your system.
Well, I would like to just talk about the itemization of both of these teams and like look at that Nathan. He knows that carry is actually just along with that Leo mod is going to melt down that Nathan in the early game. So his third item, look at that, is going to be a wind of nature, and that was a good call for that Nathan because he was actually isolated for the first 4 minutes.
True, but then again, Carrie does damage on the true damage side. I don't think Wind of Nature is going to do much, if that makes any sense.
Well, that's right, but talk about the Leo mod because along with the Phantom Steed, he actually just targeted Nathan as hard as he can along with the Gartot. He was going with a good combination for that Carmilla, but the Curse of Blood you just saw in every single team fight was just missing barely on every single thing. I mean, there was absolutely no connections by the Curse of Blood as well. You've seen that.
Yep, I'm gonna be honest with you. Liam Ward lost onto a lot of momentum, quote unquote. Yes, I'm punny. Then again, Liam Ward lost a lot of momentum because of how much he was staying behind his whole team. He was not really engaging, unless, of course, he was engaging 1 versus 2 or 1 versus 3, which was bad decisions on his side. But it's all right because sometimes it happens, I guess. Sasuke, I think you're muted.
That would be the joke of all time because I was just passing down some important information without being noticed that I was actually muted. But yeah, that was quite an exciting match. Those speculations and the analysis coming in from both of you were just on point. And you know, low down, I was vouching for Buri Buri Zaimon because Shin-chan is one of my favorite cartoon when I was a kid, and definitely most peoples too were vouching down for Bulbul Zaman, but it will be the Grand Blue, I believe, who won the game for step for the state Assam. But viewers, let's not go ahead because we have some exciting matches as Celcius Esports will be the one taking down Flame Blaze Whitey in the next upcoming match. And definitely the registrations of this tournament are currently open. So if you have a team and you wanted to play it, register it right now. And definitely if you want to play it, you need to download the game. Download the game Mobile Legends 5v5 from the Play Store right
Northeast Cup, and let's invite our super talented teams. It's going to be the Celcius Esports taking on the Flame Blaze YT. And guys, if you're liking these matches, we'd be really happy and satisfied if you like and subscribe to Battle Knights Esports and stay tuned for more matches. And with that, let's invite our lovely casters. It's going to be me, Silverhawk, and the Baldudu along with the Peachy.
Thank you for the intro, man. It's good to be here, and we have a really exciting match in store for us. It is Celsius Esports, always a really great team to watch and cast for, and Flame Blaze YT too.
Definitely, Waldo. They have been making names into this esports community, and Celsius Esports, talking about them, I'm pretty sure that they will be coming in strong as well today. Silver, now my question remains, are you rooting for?
Well, actually, from the last matches and the previous tournaments, we have seen that Celsius Esports is getting a lot of audience attracted towards themselves. So I would definitely just vouch for the Celsius Esports. But if I actually just vote for the Celsius Esports, other people would just say that I'm being biased.
Well, that is something we have to, casters can have favorites, but we can't be biased. And, Celsius and Flame Blaze, both really good teams. They have put up a decent performance in multiple Mobile Legends tournaments that have been hosted throughout. So, what do you think we'll be expecting? Because both teams are from Assam, so there is a sort of friendly rivalry going on.
So,
Well,
talking
actually,
about that, Silver, you can go on.
well, actually, that's right because both of these teams from Assam, and I really like the gameplay of how the 0-2 works as assassins and the fighters really well. And yes, Peachy.
Uh, Definitely, they have been coming up strong. I have to say it again. And now, both the teams they do have potential because we are at the Northeast Cup online qualifiers. It has to be the knockout rounds coming in, and to remind you guys, it is only going to be one teams per state representing the own states. With that, this is going to be a match between Assam versus Assam. Celsius Esports taking over Flame Blaze YT.
Yep, that's absolutely right. And yep, let's just dive straight into the draft. Casters, please take it away.
And yes, the action has begun. The draft is set, and right now we're getting into some action already. There is a lot that's gonna be happening in the next few minutes. Peachy, you have to, we're expecting a lot. What do you think is the first ban going to be?
I'm kind of hoping for a fighter to getting banned because this is an assassin meta we are talking about. We have seen how the fighters are getting prioritized. They have been getting buffs and nerfs, quite frequently. So maybe that Ruby,
Said there are no
Phobius, or the
shortcuts in
Edith
life.
ban should
I
be
was
coming
only
up.
invented one.
But I was wrong about that, Baldo.
And it is kind of interesting to see the chip being banned first because this team which Celsius is running, they prefer using a chip a
Run
lot.
deep.
In fact, that was one of their, that's what pushed them to success in quite a few tournaments. So they are known to play the chip, but instead it's been taken out
Ready?
first.
Go!
While Flame Blaze has responded with a Link ban, the Tempest of Blades will not be seen in the Land of Dawn.
Okay, that is cool. Quite looking strong. Onto the both side looks like Flame Blaze YT have done their
I am a
homework and they're just
moonlight
picking
that
out those
breaks through the
assassins that
darkness.
who could possibly snowball the entire game. So rightfully
But,
so, they are banned into the ban section. Look at that, the Lela and the Mia
and
cans,
yes,
Baldo.
it is the Lela and the Mia ban. I don't know what's the plan, but I don't think it's a respect
Lights
ban,
out.
PG. I feel it's like a statement being made by Celsius. They're taking out the Lela and the Mia in, the Northeast Cup. So is it a kind of, is it a challenge for them to, instead of banning out, a regular draft, they want the
I am
opponents to
not
use
the
their
only
best
one
heroes,
where
or is this a
motives
statement of a
change.
provocation?
Okay, rather than a respect ban, that is definitely the disrespect ban coming in because they're just challenging them. They're just showing them, ki, even without bans, we can still pick up those heroes. We can still dominate. But what team Flame Blaze YT have there in their store? Looking at the picks right now, the Tham is getting picked up. Maybe something of an Aurora or a Valentina should be coming in.
And yes, the Terizla has been picked up as a counter to the Fovius, but can the blades, the flaming blades of this Terizla, the sights, can they really stop the monolith of Fovius? Because it's just so hard to, lock a Fovius down. He dashes around left and right, activates his passive. Really a menace to deal with in the lane and in team fights.
I do agree with you, Baldo, and he is kind of balanced. But once if team Celsius Esports go in some kind of burst heroes or could possibly stun up the Thamus or even the Belleric right now because Team Flame Blaze Whitey, they are solely relying on their comfort heroes. This is new to the game right now because I have seen a lot of heroes picking up those meta heroes again and again, and we are actually quite seeing that from the side of Team Celsius Esports. So this is going to be a good, refreshing match for us, don't you think so, Waldo?
True that. Knox has, decided their second pick. It is the marksman, the Bruno being picked up. This footballer is going to be showing us his juggling skills. But faced off against a Belleric, I think it's not going to be as ideal of a scenario as he would like. But Sporta has picked up the Johnson in, this match. It's kind of interesting to see him driving around the land of Dawn, maybe to see some really high key plays because Johnson is a hit or miss hero, quite literally. Because if you take your teammate into the wrong opponent, you're gonna end up actually making a major misplay.
Oh, that is true. But I'm looking at the Johnson with the retribution. He had the flame shot. Now he
Yes,
has the retribution. What is happening, Bolu? But look at that. I would really love that Valentina play coming in, but looks like they have swapped it out for the Aurora. But both had their cons and pros, as we all know. But I really not sure how they will be countering that Johnson because he is pretty scary, with that retribution.
and right now we are going for the second drafting phase. The second stage of banning is underway, and Suyo has been taken out by Flame Blaze. They did not waste even a second hesitating on that ban. They knew what they wanted and they took that hero out. And now it's up to Celsius to respond. Will we see another respect ban coming up? Or, yeah, it is another respect ban. It is the Zilong that is taken out. The Eastern Warrior with the spear will not be in this land of Dawn once again. And it's up to Flame Blaze to give their response.
Now, Boldo, will the next band will be Alucard from the side of Team Celsius Esports?
It is Martis, and I think it's finally one of the more reasonable bands coming out from their side. And it does maybe make sense. Maybe it could be a respect band for real this time. And we'll have to see.
Uh-huh.
The second stage of picking is up. The draft is ready. It's up to Killer Boy to decide what he wants to play. I think the roles left are the jungler and your gold laner. So, what do you think they could be picking up?
They could still go in for a Ruby goal laner. Ruby is still up for a grab. Even a Minsitar would come into the play because you have the Bruno. Okay, looks like that the Bruno will be countered by that Leslie. Leslie, I could say she is quite annoying with that true damage she has. So once into the late game, it is quite impossible to catch her up. But they do have the Johnson and possibly the Fanny right now. Fanny might be locked. I am really hoping that Baldo.
Well, he is using up that Mikasa skin. It's the MOBA X AOT collab. I guess, they are picking up the Fanny. The steel cables will be something really interesting to watch as he zips past the Land of Dawn. But Neko Squeam has completed Celsius draft, picking up that Odette, while Killer Boy has responded with the Dyro. So Flame Blaze is not even giving us a second to discuss the draft as he locks the hero instantly.
Uh, uh, Definitely, this is kind of looking strong, I have to say. And they picked up a very good combo of a Johnson and an Odette looking in, but the Tyrot will be the jungler from the side of Flame Blaze Whitey. And with that, Baldo, I have to introduce you a new caster. She is one of the best caster that I have been with, and she's none other than Sarah. She will be your partner for today. And Sarah, hello, Sarah, how are you?
Hello, hello, PJ. Thank you for that beautiful welcome. And sorry, everyone, for the delay. I was actually stuck in traffic for quite some time and just managed to reach back. And Baldu, looking at the current draft, I would have to say that Team Celsius, they are definitely going in for a very, very cliche combination, that is the Johnson and the Udet. And looking at both of these teams, they would be going in for that standard rotation. But the side of Celsius, that Fanny would be starting on with his red buff. So the blue buff still stands at the risk of being invaded, considering there's a Belleric as well as the Deroth and Aurora.
And you have, yeah, you did make a really good point there. You have to watch out for the Fanny who can come out with an invade at any time. And surprisingly, they're not really helping Dyro take his farm as fast as possible. They just want to try to get a win for Leslie in the gold lane.
Yes, definitely, as you were saying that, but the goal line is currently looks like it's suffering a bit because that Belric and Leslie are playing the poke game with Bruno. And early game Bruno, he's still a bit weak until and unless he gets up his Hass's claws. But look at that, she is already there for the backup. And then the side of Team Celsius, they're actually going to focus towards that goal line because Bruno has an insane late game potential as long as he protects himself from that vengeance. But look at Fanny, she is already chunked down pretty low with that, like the Belleric, and but
Ooh.
the first blood would be secured by Aurora. That Dirot's early game shred that comes out so very beautifully. And look at him, he's not done. He's already engaging on towards the phobias, unaware of the Odette coming out there, who is also poking very hard. But the Fanny, she is going in for that chase. She's going in for that wall spam and manages to secure the kill on towards Deroth. She has to come back now. But look at Tammuz. She is also very low, and Fanny is the one who secures the one and more kill. But the control landing on towards Aurora, passive has been put out, and Sporta secures the kill on towards that Aurora.
And already there is a lot of action within just the first 2 minutes of the game. The first turtle is not even up, as 4 kills on the scoreboard right away. Fanny doing a really great job. She ran out of energy towards the end, but was able to complete the wall spam in time. But the turtle is up. Both the junglers a little wary about stepping into, the turtles without picking up their buffs. Phobius on the bot side, dropping some poke onto this Thamus who does not have his ultimate yet. But on the top side, there is some action as Bruno picks up a kill, but Phobius still going on to 3. He does not want to stop. He's still taking some more damage. Heavy damage being taken up. He uses his flicker. He will not have it for the fight. Will he He chooses to re-engage into the fight instead. The ultimate of Thamos is online, but Boyko falls down. Finally, Flame Blaze Whitey taking a kill in response as Celcius responds again. 2 kills picked up. The Odet's ultimate is down. Neko's Queen picking up a kill as Killer Boy responds with a double kill onto the front line of Celcius. 3 people down, and the scoreboard is 6-5. Who do you think won
And
that
with
fight?
that, yes, Baldu, with that, Celsius is the one who secures the 1K goal lead, but it is the other red team who goes ahead with the turtle secure. That team fight, it was filled with ultimates being used up upon ultimates being used on top of all ultimates. Look at the Johnson on the top lane. He is securing that engage on towards Leslie, but Deroth will be the one chasing them down. But once again, Aurora
Oh,
using that critical glacier.
oh my god, that was an absolute wombo combo picked up. Killer Boy taking up his second double kill of the day. Fanny wants to dive and misses the cable, but the cutthroat is there to secure a kill onto the Leslie. But on bot side, Boyko in some trouble. The the Thamus is chasing him down. He is able to sustain through the fight, but falls through the passive explosion of the scythe. The molten crater picks up the kill onto him, and the game is really neck and neck right now.
And looking at the match situation right now, Celsius is actually leading even after the red team securing that turtle. But look at Odette, he is already going in with that, the Fanny K securing those cables. But it is Belleric and Aurora with those ultimates who actually managed to win out that team fight.
And dude, look at Flame Blaze, Whitey, man. Like, they're doing so well in these team fights. And look, Thamus on the bot side once again. These EXP leaners do not want to stop trying to go for highlight play after highlight play. Ultimates used up left and right. But the Phobius' cooldown is almost non existent. Johnson on the side trying to make a drive. Let's see, will he be able to succeed on catching that Leslie? The vision is there. Okay, he does not commit just yet. He's just gonna drive around the land of Dawn. But on the bot side, Boyko being really, really aggressive, man. Someone has to stop this guy. Johnson has crashed on. The ultimates are used. There's just so much action as a double kill picked up. 3 kills on the side of Flame Blaze YT. They're completely dominating on this side as the turtle will once again be picked up. Zero contest at all.
And that's the beauty of Team Celsius, right? Team Celsius, they're gonna lose out on the team fight. But in terms of objectives, they are going to secure those. That Fanny trying to use the cut foot on towards Leslie, but the flicker has been baited out by her. But Fanny will be running out of the energy and trying to run away from the situation. But look at Belleric and Tira. They are there for that backlane dive, and the killer boy on that godlike, the one of the best teams of India, Celsius, is actually facing such a hard time against a newbie team. That shows the potential of the Northeast Cup in finding out those new talents. But look at Johnson, he is being chunked down low and he will be going down.
And right now, on the bot side, while they picked up a kill, Thamos is in a bit of a tough spot. The damage of Odette is there. He cannot sustain the enhanced, footballs that is Bruno is slashing on to the Thamos. He could not sustain and falls. Finally, Celsius picking up some kind of scraps. But speaking of scraps, they picked up a free kill onto that Leslie. She could not sustain even for a second under that cutthroat that Fanny put down. Mikasa just too much to handle for Flame Blaze on the gold lane. Boyko trying to pick up the top side turret, but 3 people of Flame Blaze are there. The Dairoth is there once more. The Frigid Glacier used, and another kill picked up. Legendary for this guy. Someone stop this Dairoth. He is on an absolute killing spree right now.
That is the like I do not know what to say in the situation because Deroth is such a hero that if you give him that early game advantage along with the passive threat which he has, he will just wreck your team. But look at Aurora, she will be hunted down by that Johnson Bruno and the your dead, and she will be going down under her turret. Deroth being a little too over aggressive here. He is very, very low. That ultimate has been used and legendary once again for that Deroth. Like sustaining everything in that team fight. Johnson trying to protect the Bruno and will be successful in doing so. But the flicker knockup coming in by Boyko on towards the Deroth. He is already very low, but the Deroth, like the farm coming in from
He's
the
just too
side of
calm, man.
Deroth.
The goal lead is just too much for
Sad.
him to handle. It's just too much, Sarah. I don't know how will they handle, the goal lead that they've given onto a Dyro. Maybe if they can drag the game out to late game, there's a chance. But it's really hard for this Johnson to dive against an Aurora and a Belleric. Look at Fanny. She was there just for a second and loses half her HP with just one enhanced S2 from this Dyro. Just really, really difficult situation for Celcius Esports to be in right now. They have lost turrets. They've lost all their outer turrets except for the mid lane one, on the tier 3s. And they've not got any turtles to, for their name. And once, Flame Blaze begins invading, it's going to be even harder for them to catch up.
Exactly as you mentioned, Baldu. But look at Leslie. She will be the one securing a kill on towards Fanny. An answer to all those cutthroats in the early game. And look at the top lane that Phobius and Bruno trying to kill that Thamus who has used
Ooh,
up
the
his
flame
vengeance.
shot.
And finally, he'll be going down. Johnson in the bot lane, in a bit of a danger. He'll chuck down very low on the flicker. Frigid Glacier
What is he doing?
missing.
Dude,
But the
his
Aurora,
iframes are,
finally.
he doesn't need immunes like Lancelot. This guy is just dodging every single ultimate, using the flame shot and giving us all a scare. A really great job. He bought a lot of time. He even baited out the flicker of that Aurora. So I guess that kill was a really expensive one for Flame Blaze.
Yes, and meanwhile, using that distraction, using the Johnson as a bait, Celsius actually managed to shut down the Deroth in the top lane, and that's a huge chunk of gold secured by them, putting the goal difference back to just 1k, which means that Team Celsius will be trying to look for a comeback. Leslie is in danger, but Johnson, like he managed to dodge the enemy skills, he also dodged the enemy itself. But look at that cutthroat coming in once again. Dodging that Frigid Glacier, but locking on towards Leslie once more. Johnson on that damage build, I believe with the dire hit too, once we have a look at the items, will be very, very lethal.
And look at that, Celsius, despite getting, struggling against that Dyro in the early game, are managing to secure a comeback for themselves. The goal lead is almost nil at this point. They're already starting on that Lord, which is up. That Bruno is dealing a lot of damage. Nox is just shredding this Lord out. Neck 0-2 is also there. Thamus giving vision. Who is going to win this Lord dance? It's just Thamus, and it's instead Nox who picks up this Lord. They still want to commit onto the fight. The Johnson crashes. The Phobius is jumping left and right. The ultimates use. Frigid Glacier hitting nothing but air. Bruno is in the thick of it all. He's playing like an XP laner. Look at this man. He's taking kills left after left. But Neko's Queen picking up a triple kill for herself as it's a wipeout. Celcius Esports. The comeback is there and it is done as they pick up the wipeout of this game.
And oh my god, Celsius finally back in the lead, showing what they are made of, showing why they are one of the top teams of India. Once more, making that comeback in this game. That they're not being overly aggressive, considering he does not have that farm lead anymore. 0-2 Nox, they are already back in the lead. But look at Johnson, he would not be crashing onto that Deloth and save up his ultimate to pick up a dead and crash on towards their marksman, who would be one of the main damage dealers. But look at Nox, he's on that unstoppable. He is on the revenge arc, but the cutthroat on towards the Leslie manages to
Oh
secure
my
two kills
god.
on them.
Dude, that cutthroat was not even under the turret, it was inside their base. It was between those two turrets. He dove in, got the kill, and cabled out. That was a really impressive display of mechanics on the Fanny. Really great job by 0-2. But right now, Flame Blaze in a really tough situation. They've lost two of their inhibitors, and it's going to be a really tight situation for them.
Oh, and Belleric using up that ultimate in the midst of nowhere. That's a precious, precious resource wasted as Team Celsius would be looking for that win. Another Frigid Glacier being used up in the middle of nowhere, and the Odette Johnson inside the base. Fanny with that kills, double kill secured by the Odette. Nox bursting down Leslie like she is nothing but paper. Cutthroat using towards the Aurora. But the double kill being secured by
Noble.
Nox. He would be going down to the turret, but the match would be going down in the hands of Celsius Esports.
Oh man, that was just it was an entertaining game left and right, but it was just so hard to watch for Flame Blaze because they had the entire advantage from the beginning and then they threw it at the end. From the mid game near that Lord, it was not necessary. They could have defended that fight, but yeah.
Yes, and that was very well done from the side of Celsius Esports. They were like well done. That was a comeback which like no one expected, at least in the early phase. The supporters of the red team, they were very much in favor of them. That Diroth and the Thermals doing so much, sustaining and dealing way too much damage. But finally, it is the side of Team Celsius Esports who finally managed to come out victorious. And also, I would like to add in a good news for all the players from the east of India. 10th, 11th, and 12th would be enough in celebration of Durga Puja, in worship of Ma Durga. We will be taking an off.
And Dashara too, you can't forget the rest of us. But yes, man, speaking of that game, like just the Thammers was so good in the early game. The Tyroth Killer Boy was just phenomenal with that execution. It looked like he could not die despite Odette's damage. But nobody was making enough magic defense. And towards the end of it, it just ended up, an absolute throw. There was nobody actually diving the Bruno, and he was just free hitting his way through, and that changed the game for them completely.
Yes, and as we were mentioning, Baldu, that would be it for this game. That is day 3 in the Northeast Cup. Everyone, registrations are still open, and we are going to be off now.
And that was an absolutely wonderful game to watch. Thank you for having us, and goodbye, viewers. Please tune in for some more action after the holidays.